and welcome to the Babymetal episode proper, where we start with the band's debut album, Babymetal. Released in 2014, and came through BMD Fox and Toys Factory, and it was produced by Babymetal Kobayashi. So, one thing that I did sort of gloss over a little bit, but didn't actually fully say, was the whole Sakura Gakuin thing. I did mention that it was a sort of show that they were part of, but also Sakura Gakuin was actually a group which did actually have members of Babymetal in them, and there is a link there because this is something that was pointed out on the in the comments of the Very Brief History video, wherein it turns out that Kobayashi works for the Amuse talent agency in Japan, which I knew nothing about, and I also didn't know about like Mini Party, which is another group. I think I didn't know about all that going in. There really isn't actually any mention of Mini Party on or Mini Patty, or whatever you say, on the Wikipedia, which is my main source of information, so yeah, I do apologise for being so misinformed. That being said, yeah, the group were pretty much earmarked for success after how successful they were in Japan. They even played at the Anime Asia Festival, and eventually, yeah, they would eventually start putting this album together, and the album itself kind of rocks. I really like the experimentation of the genre kawaii metal. First of all, I think that's a really good name for it because, yeah, that is about how I describe it. It's adorable as hell, but also super duper heavy. The instruments really feel fast paced, which I do enjoy, and the production actually helps to tie things together. Kobayashi is a really good producer for this kind of style, and as someone who's worked in the Japanese music industry for a long time, that does not surprise me that much. But yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal here. I think he puts in the best work, but also obviously the band themselves are really great, and they have a lot of backing instrumentation as well from like sort of backing bands who have a lot of members who have come and gone, so I'm not really going to cover those for this main episode of Babymetal. From what I can find on the lyrics as well, they usually have some pretty dark and surprisingly realistic things, but mostly positive and uplifting ones at that as well, you know? Themes of like not giving up and just trying to move forward with life, things about, okay, some stuff about just food and being adorable. There's Japan. Their consistency can be a bit off sometimes, but it does translate well for the most part, even if it is all in Japanese, and I did enjoy what I was able to find. Also, the performance is really solid, everyone is on point. Sue Metal especially, really solid clean vocalist, she puts in some really good work, and yeah, just a really nicely put together album. My favourite song goes to Catch Me If You Can. So yeah, the album is a really great debut for the group. I love how it all really plays out, and it's really nice to see that they took the success that they were pretty much started with and managed to turn that into something pretty damn great. Considering how long their albums are too, that is saying something, so I really like how this one went out. Next is the band's second album, Metal Resistance, released in 2016. It occurred through the same labels, and it was produced by Babymetal once again. So it's sort of no surprise. I've talked about their popularity a lot over the Very Brief History and so far over the first album of this episode. But yeah, their popularity just got massive. They started touring more internationally as well. I mean, it got so great that Herman Lee and Sam Topman of Dragon Force actually appear in the opening track of this album playing guitar solos. So yeah, that's how pretty big they are. And if you can get the respect of two of the best guitarists in the world, that is fucking saying something. Speaking of surprises for this album, there is a lot more pop elements for this one, and there's more experimental stuff to try. There's more sort of emo sounds, there's more sort of dance sounds and electronic dance sounds, and there's more sort of a punk edge to things, and again, it just really works. I like how it's experimented. Obviously the instrumentation really helps with that. The production is also fucking solid as hell. Koba does an absolutely amazing job on that front. So yeah, again, just a really nicely put together album that really doesn't dip at all, considering, again, it is pretty damn long, but it does make it worth it by the end. You know, I love how they stick with the same lyrical themes, you know, making it feel a bit more positive this time around, and yeah, just absolutely phenomenal work all around. My favourite song goes to the closing track titled The One, which is kind of an odd name for a closing track, but still, really solid album and absolutely more than worthy follow-up to their debut. I super duper enjoyed this one. And finally, we reach the band's third album, Metal Galaxy, released in 2019. It occurred through the same label and have the same producer once again. So it is also notable for being the first album without Yui Metal, who did have to leave due to her health issues, and I do hope she's recovered since then, because that was in 2018, so that was 4 years ago. I just hope she's doing okay now. But they did some pretty big stuff as well. Again, more international success. They headlined a little thing we have in the UK called Wembley Arena. You know, that thing that Queen headlined all that time ago. You know the place. Basically, it's a super huge fucking deal in the UK. Like, it's bigger than Downloads Festival for us. That's how much it means. And then we get to the album itself, and I will admit, it is a little bit more stunted than their previous two. I don't know what it is. It's still, like, as long as their previous two. I think it might be slightly longer, but that's not a deal breaker. It is structured well enough to carry it through. It is a super fun album at the end of the day. I really like a lot of the instrumentation, but I don't know, I feel like their experimentation stuff that they tried on their second album didn't really carry as well on this one. Like, there is some of it done, but I wish that they did a bit more with it to try and make it work a little bit better. It's still a really good album, but I wouldn't rate it as highly as the first, though. I did still really like it, but I guess part of it is the fact that you can feel Yui's presence is gone. You know, she was a really solid screaming vocalist for the group, and it is a shame that she's not around, but again, health comes first, health always comes first, and I am glad that she decided to leave to focus on herself, because that is really important to do. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. The production is still really good, it's still structured quite well, if a bit wobbly at times, but still, it's a good wobbly, you know, it's an enjoyable wobbly. And yeah, just very fun instrumentation too. And my favourite song goes to Shine. So yeah, another great album by the group. Again, I wouldn't put it as highly as the first two, but they did make do with what they had. It's 3 years since their last one, and it still kicks a lot of ass, just maybe not so much as last time. That being said, that's it. Another episode of this is over. 3 more to go. Not including finale, so that'll make it 4 more to go. And then, yeah, that's it. No more backtracking after that. But as for what's next from me tonight, PBW vs AVW, the return show. Got a card sorted. It's going to be an amazing show, I'm hoping. Also, the next episode of Backtracking will be Future Islands, as requested by my good friend Raymundo, real name Adam. So yeah, really looking forward to doing that one. It's going to be a 6-album episode, so it'll take me a bit longer to put together than this one did. And yeah, I'll see you all most likely tonight, and then possibly on Thursday for another episode of Music of the Week. It all depends. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.